Hello everyone, I'm Sergio and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite character to play in PvP, the Engineer. Now I don't have as many games with her as my Mesmer, but I've quickly learned that I enjoy playing her as the most. So let's go into the Heart of the Mists here, and I will show you the build that I use. Now, like I mentioned before, the objective of player versus player isn't just killing the enemy. There are little zones that you have to capture. There's usually three zones on each map, 3 points, and once you capture one of those, your team gets points at a set rate. So the more that you control, the more points that you get, and the first to get to 500 wins. So a valid tactic is creating a character that can capture one of those points and stay on it and defend it from the enemy team, whether it's 1 versus 1, 2 versus 1, or more. The more that there are and the longer you can last, the better for your team, because well, they can't capture it even if there's multiple enemies on it and you're staying on it. So this is my Engineer. Now the Engineer's unique mechanic is this right here. It's your tool belt. Whatever abilities you have over here in the first 4 slots, you get another ability right here that are on separate cooldowns. So for example, I have a thumper turret right here. So my F4 is Rumble, release a shockwave of inertial force to damage nearby foes. Does 633 damage, gives me 1 1/4 of a second of stability, break stuns, and is a combo finisher to blast, range 240. And as you can see, the cooldown is separate from the ability. Now if I'll show you, if I switch out to say personal battering ram, there's the personal battering ram that I can use, but it also has launch personal battering ram, shoot out a ram set in front of you, crippling any nearby struck foes. Once again, they're separate. But that's not the type of build that I use, so once that's off cooldown, I'll switch back to my rocket launcher turret. So here we are. As my Engineer, let me switch it back here. Rocket turret, there we go. As an Engineer, I use a pistol and a shield. You don't have the option to swap weapons with an Engineer, so you're stuck with a single set. My sigil is Sigil of Water. There's 30% chance on hit to heal nearby allies around your target. That includes you. Cooldown is 5 seconds. My other is Sigil of Venom. Increases inflicted poison duration by 20%. Remember, poison does a small damage over time, and also it reduces healing effectiveness. My rune is Rune of the Dolyak. You can see it gives me a lot of toughness and vitality, and the final bonus is you regenerate health every second. Then I have a Cleric Amulet equipped, plus 643 power, plus 643 toughness, plus 922 healing power. Go over to my traits here. I have a couple in explosives, a couple in firearms, a bunch in inventions, and a few in alchemy. Now, explosives, every point gives you power and condition duration. Firearms, every point gives you precision and condition damage. Inventions, every point gives you toughness and healing. Alchemy, every point gives you vitality and boon duration. So we go to the first one in explosives. and it's create a bomb when you dodge. Set a time to charge that damages foes when it explodes. Does 592 damage, radius is 120, range is 1, because it sets it right where you dodged from. Firearms. Critical hits have a chance to cause bleeding, so 33% chance on critical chance to do 143 damage over 3 and 1/4 of a second with bleeding. Inventions. Low health response system. Gain regeneration when you are struck while below the health threshold. So when you reach 25% health, you gain regeneration for 12 seconds, giving you 3,393 health over those 12 seconds. Automated medical response. All heal skills recharge when struck while you are below the health threshold. So when you are struck at 25% health, all of your heal abilities regenerate. Gain power based on your healing attribute. So, depending on how much healing power you have, you get it converted to power by 10%. In Alchemy, Elixir B. It says drink an Elixir B when struck while below the health threshold. So you gain Fury, Might, and Swiftness. You can see that Fury is for 12 seconds, 20% critical chance, Might is 36 seconds, 35 power, and 35 condition damage. Retaliation for 12 seconds, reflect incoming damage back to its source, and Swiftness for 36 seconds. So for 36 seconds, 33% movement speed. Transmute. Incoming conditions have a chance to convert into boons. It's a 100% chance to convert a condition into a boon, but the cooldown is 15 seconds. Back at explosives, I have accelerant-packed turrets. Turrets explode when killed. When your turrets explode, they push back foes. Damage is 947, knockback is 300, radius is 120. Firearms. Hair Trigger reduces recharge on rifle, pistol, and harpoon gun skills, so the recharge on all those skills of my pistol is reduced by 20%. Inventions. Metal plating reduces damage dealt to turrets. The damage reduced is 33%. Auto tool installation. Turrets are self-repairing. They get 5% health back every 3 seconds. Rifled turret barrels. Turrets deal more damage and have a longer attack range. The damage increases by 15%. The range increases 50%. Alchemy. Drink an Elixir S when you are struck below the health threshold. The health threshold is 25%, so you shrink and evade attacks for 3 seconds. During that time you're shrunken, you can't attack, however. Protection injection. Gain protection whenever you are disabled. So stun, daze, knockdown, knockback, launch, float, sink, or fear. The protection is 3.5 seconds, and you get negative 33% incoming damage. So you can see I built this pretty defensively. I found out that turrets do not scale with any of your stats aside from the flamethrower turret, which I don't have on here. The flamethrower turret, its fire scales with condition damage. So what I did is that I went for most of my stats into toughness and vitality. So I'm pretty hard to take down. If I go to my pistol skills and show you what they do, the main is fragmentation shot. It does 222 damage, and it explodes to cause bleeding damage for 2 1/4 seconds, which is only 95 damage. The radius is 120 of the explosion. Range is 900. So this is the basic attack. You can see it does not do a lot of damage, unlike most of my other characters. The next one is Poison Dart Volley. You fire a volley of darts that poison your foes. The damage is 253. Poison is 2.5 seconds. 188 damage, negative 33% heal effectiveness. Number of darts is 5. So each dart can poison for 2.5 seconds. If you're far away, you might miss a bunch of your darts. I'll show you. So you saw that I missed many of my darts. However, the closer you are to your opponent, the more likely you're to hit every single dart. So if we were up close in melee range, and you can see that it stacked the duration. By the time the ability is off cooldown, you can fire it again, which means you can continually poison them, and you can continually reduce their healing duration by 33%. Or healing effectiveness, excuse me. The next ability is Static Shock. Discharge a lightning shot that bounces between multiple foes, blinding and confusing them. So when they're blinded, their next outgoing attack misses. And when they're confused, every skill that they use does 145 damage on skill use. The number of bounces is 4. If there are 2 enemies, it might bounce back to them and stack the confusion, so it'll do twice the damage. For the shield, I have Magnetic Shield. Create a magnetic shield that reflects projectiles and can be released to push back foes. So this ability is very used against ranged enemies. When I'm holding a point, they'll start firing at me, and I can use it. I'll just use it. 1, 2, and then release it if they get close. Pushes them back off the point, so I can continue to hold it. My next one is Static Shield. You electrify your shield, preparing to throw it at foes. If you are hit, the shield discharges, stunning your nearby attacker. Now, even if they hit you and it discharges and it stuns them, the stun is for 1 second. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, it helps. So not only do you not take damage by blocking whatever it was they were throwing at you, but it stuns them. However, even after they're stunned, you can still throw the shield to daze the target for a second. So you see that I threw it and it dazed my enemy. So when it dazes, they're unable to use skills. So it's a pretty good weapon. Alright, let me explain my turrets. The reason why I chose turrets is so I can set them up strategically around the point. So while I'm holding it, they continually attack the enemy, while I just have to basically run around, spam my pistol attacks, use my shield, and wear them down as I stay alive and heal. So, let's say I have a point set up that's right here. The points are pretty big. They're circles. So I'd put a rifle turret here. Rocket turret there. And I'd put my thumper right on the point. Now when you place your turrets down, they all gain a new ability. So you can see it says the old one there, rifle turret, build a rifle turret that shoots at your foes. The attack range is 1,500, its damage is 548, its rate of fire is every 2 seconds. Now, if you use the ability, it changes to automatic fire. You overcharge your rifle turret to fire piercing shots that inflict vulnerability. So the damage is still the same. The rate of fire increases by 50%, so now it fires every second for those 10 seconds. The attack range is still the same, but each shot inflicts vulnerability for 8 3/4 of a second. So 1% increased damage for every time it hits someone. The rocket turret. Build a turret that fires rockets. Damage is 1,643. Attack range is 1,500. Its rate of fire is every 4 seconds. Radius is 240 for the explosion. When you use it, it overcharges your turret to fire explosive rockets. The damage goes up to 1,826. Attack range is still the same. It gains a knockdown of 2 seconds. So if it hits an enemy, it knocks them down for 2 seconds. Rate of fire is still 4 seconds, duration is 4 seconds, so it'll only get 1 shot off. The radius is 240. Now the difference also is when you use this, the rocket kind of shoots upwards out of the turret and downward toward the enemy. If they move out of the way, then they'll be able to dodge it. Thumper turret. Build a high health thumper turret that damages nearby foes. The damage is 730 and it cripples enemies for 3 1/4 of a second, so negative 50% movement speed. Rate of fire is 3 seconds. The radius is 360. When you use it, It says overcharge your thumper turret to launch nearby foes. The damage shoots up to 1096. It launches enemies for 400. The radius is still the same. Now, this is the turret that I use to kite around points. As enemies, especially if they're melee, they try to hit me and I'm running around while they're crippled and they have to dodge towards me, and unless they have stability. That's the only main problem. Now, I don't put the healing turret down yet. If I'm defending a point, I can pop this. Release a mist of healing liquid to regenerate nearby allies. I usually use this pretty early. It gives me 2 stacks of regen, and for 3.5 seconds of 1697 heal. So if I use it, spray it out, and I get my regeneration. Now you can see why I use it a little early. It's a nice burst, and it doesn't put my healing turret on cooldown. So now, when my health gets a little lower as we're fighting, I drop my healing turret. My healing turret automatically heals as soon as I drop it for 3131 health, and it also gives me regen for 3.5 seconds for 849 health. And afterwards, it continually gives me regeneration, as you can see. Now, if you activate it again, it uses Cleansing Burst. Overcharge your healing turret, supplying a burst of healing that cures 2 conditions. So when you activate it, it heals you again for 3131 health and gives you a better regen for 6 seconds at 1697 health. The radius is 480. You can see the radius around that white line. So if you drop the turret while you're fighting, after you use your regeneration, you can use the Cleansing Burst right away after dropping it. So you get a 6262 healing burst with a bunch of regen stacking. So that puts me up quite a bit of health. You see? And all the while I'm running around using my shield, poisoning them, making them confused while activating all of my turrets. Now, if you're having a lot of problems, like someone's particularly tough in a 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 1, here's the ability that I have on my elite skill. It's Supply Crate. I think most engineers use this. You request a massive supply drop complete with turrets and bandages. The damage is 474. They get stunned for 2 seconds in the area of effect. The duration is 60 seconds. Radius 240. Combo finisher is Blast. The range is 1200. Oh, I forgot to mention that your turrets only have a duration of 5 minutes. However, most matches don't last too long. You might have to deploy your turrets twice. If you pick them up, then the cooldown is reduced by 25%. Alright, so let me set them up again, and then I'll show you what the difference is between just me attacking and all my turrets attacking. I'll target the heavy golem. Okay, there's my rifle turret. Then I'll set up my rocket turret right here. And then I'll set up my thumper turret like it's a point that I have to defend. Alright, so normally you can see his health dropping. I'm not even attacking him. If I activate some of my abilities, you can see alright, you didn't see it, but my rocket fell down when I activated my rocket and it hit that. If I activate my thumper turret, it'll launch him. And let me show you my rocket turret now. See? Knocks him down for 2 seconds. If you activate these, it detonates your turrets. I only use that as a last resort. And if I drop in my supply crates, it drops a net turret and a flame turret. You can't really control these or anything. You can't pick them up. And it also drops a whole bunch of supply bandages. Each of these heals you for, well, with my setup, about 1 to 2,000 health. You can see the damage output is increased by quite a bit with just these 2 extra turrets. Oh yeah, it also drops this healing turret, so you have 2 healing turrets out healing you. So if I poison him, activate all my abilities, knocks him down, launches him away. You can see we destroyed him pretty fast. I don't even have to have a lot of damage output. I can just sit here and defend this entire time. So this is my engineer's build. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you all later. I might post some more PvP videos later. I might do my thief. The thief is another one that I have trouble playing as, even though I've played her a lot in player versus environment. So I might also do a Dark Souls 2 Let's Play. That game's pretty good. If you're interested in seeing me play a certain game, let me know, and I'll try my best to get around to it. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a nice day.